just released the new version of the Jewel Thief. It is now officially available, but it is only available to group members with the TJD Masters. So just one more perk for anybody that's been using our previous iteration of the Jewel Thief or of some of the moving average indicators. These two are by far superior. I highly recommend them. So, if you want to invest in yourself, there's definitely an opportunity there. So you can reach out to me if you're interested in that. It's a pretty modest contribution, that I ask to get the indicators, join the group, etc. So, if you're interested in that, let me know. Obviously, I provide tons of free technical analysis and resources, in streams and via the indicators, charts, etc. So, obviously, feel free to do that. I know not everyone's in a position to make a contribution, but it is a one-time contribution. And as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty reasonable. So, let's look at Bitcoin now. Let's look at our cryptos. Let's look at what's going on here. So, we know officially our Bitcoin futures chart has officially rolled over bearish. So we are now officially in a bear market for the first time since we came into the bull market. And we're going by when the 200 exponential and simple flipped over blue. Both of them turned blue right here at roughly like $9,000. We went into a parabolic uptrend. Here we saw 200 exponential flip over red, but the 200 simple still had a positive slope and we're well above it. Here we saw 200 simple started hinting that we were potentially going to go into a bear market. And now here we have broken down. We have the 8 and 21 crossing the downside in red. We have the 200 exponential and simple. Both have a negative slope on them. We have officially entered into a bear market. The last time we entered into a bear market was when we entered into the bear market right here. And that was the CVD dump. So we entered into the bear market and then we immediately capitulated. So does that have to happen? No. But that's what happened last time. And the time before that when it happened, well, this was our 2018 top. So we'll look at the regular Bitcoin chart in a second and we can get a better idea with a little more time history, obviously. Bearish divergence on the weekly Bitcoin futures chart. The 821 has officially crossed to the downside. This is danger zone. The 200 exponential and simple are way down here at $20,000. So do we have to go to $20,000? No. Does it make sense that we retest 30 and then we go to 20 after that? If that doesn't hold? Yep. Is it going to happen in one candle? No, it's going to probably be a stair step along the way. So here is our Bitstamp chart. And again, we see, we did get technically here, we flipped into a bear market, but we were actually buying that triple bullish divergence here. Technically here, we tried to flip into a bear market, but we were still buying 200 exponential and simple. But we're scalping. We're expecting potential flip of the market right here. So we sold the top here. We sold the top here. We bought the bottom here. We bought the retest here. Okay. And now we're scalping little scalps along the way, but now we are net negative in these markets. We are no longer bullish in these markets. We have flipped over the 200 exponential. Technically, the 200 simple still has a positive slope, but that's just because it's a lagging indicator, and this is open on the weekends. I trust the futures chart far more. Now, is it reasonable to think that we get a pushback up to 50K for a retest? It is. It's definitely possible we get an immediate pushback up to like 50K. Maybe we fill out what would look like, basically, some kind of like head and shoulders type pattern. It's definitely a possibility that we do something like this. Short term, we get something like this. What I'm going to be looking for is, does it look like we're basing out around this key support level? I mean, for now, but I really got to see some kind of positive price action, a little momentum shift, a couple green histograms, a little cross, exit the bearish control zone. Maybe we flip the 821 back to the upside. What I want to see is, I want to see this at least come up and take out this previous high to get bullish on it at all and reclaim the 200 exponential and simple. What I don't want to see, if I want to be bullish in the markets, is this. I do not want to see a weak right shoulder rejection off the 200 exponential and simple. If we get a reversion to the mean rejection right here and a weak right shoulder, that typically results in a powerful move to the downside and an overperformance of the pattern. Now, this pattern only plays out, 60, maybe 65% of the time. So if we flip a coin, we flip it 3 times, we got a head and shoulders. 2 of those times it goes in our favor. 1 of those times, it goes and keeps running to the upside or breaks out above this level or whatever. So, it's by no means a 100% guaranteed this is a head and shoulders, short Bitcoin, it's going down. Not by any means. And matter of fact, we're at support right now. So the last thing I would be doing is shorting into support. I would actually be buying support for the reversion to the mean retest. Do I think we should buy right now? I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is the trend is potentially looking like a downtrend now. We're at the beginning of a potential bear market. Cyclically, 4-year cycle, we're seeing, potential like double top. We're seeing potential head and shoulders, micro top right here. We're seeing moving averages rolling over. We're seeing literally every day more and more signs of a potential bear market. And every previous bear market has been, an 80 to 95% pullback depending on Bitcoin or altcoins. So be real careful here. That's what I'm being real careful here. I'm being super conservative, and I'm already conservative. You guys know that. So what does that tell you? Well, you got to do what you got to do. But we see the 8 and 21 have flipped over. We see powerful red candles to the downside. We're seeing, this is months of downtrend action right here. And remember how bullish everybody was? New all-time highs, 100,000. Bags are packed. Let's go. Moon. Come rocket. Well, sure. Dogecoin. Shiba Inu. 100,000. A Citadel. Okay. Sure. Hard sell signal. Left the bullish control zone. Stokes powerfully angled to the downside. Red slope line on the TJD TD MACD. All red histograms. Not even a sense of life from the bulls on the weekly. Bearish divergence. 821 cross to the downside. I can't. Is there anything bullish on this whole chart? Maybe support right here. And even that we broke. The weekly support was here. The weekly support was at 43,000 and we already closed below it. Could we rally up right here and reclaim it? Sure. But we already closed below the support level. So now we could look at this top right here. We had a couple candles close at like 39,000. Well, that's not far. Maybe we just go down to 39,000. That's not so bad. Sure, maybe. Or maybe we come down here. Maybe we retest, the 31,000 level. Maybe we just go straight to 200 exponential and simple. But there's a lot more bearishness on this chart now than there is bullishness. And I'm not saying that because I'm mean. I'm not saying that because I don't like crypto or I hate people making money. I'm saying it because it's the fucking truth. But you know what they say about the truth. The truth hurts. Sometimes. Sometimes truth feels real good. Get that off your chest. Ethereum. Oh, sorry. I was doing a little scalps over the weekend on some of these altcoins. So Ethereum looking real weak. We've been talking about this. Ethereum has been extremely strong. And now we broke down from that key level. Broke down from that key uptrend. What did we say? We broke down from the entire bull market uptrend. That's bad. We broke down from this little mini micro downtrend. That's bad. We lost the 200 exponential and simple. That's bad. So we just did 3 really bad things on Ethereum. The bears are in control. Bunch of red histograms. Slope line is powerfully angled to the downside. Ethereum looks terrible. Looks terrible right now. Still looks better than a lot of stuff because it just now broke down. It still has technically positive slope on 200 simple, but it looks bad. And we knew this was going to happen because we're about to look at the Bitcoin to Ethereum chart right now. So first target to downside, when we talked about this, it is that 30,000 level. We already tagged it. We held it on the weekly. That's good for now. But the next target is going to be that 236. So now we have to look at our macro fib. From the low right here, arguably, I believe we could technically draw it from this low right here, slightly lower, but I don't think it makes a difference. So, because I think this was like a couple dollars less. This was $80. This was like 85. 80 and 89. So literally makes no difference, in my opinion, with that big of a move. So from the bottom to the top right here, our initial push down will be to the 236. 236 is at $1,850. It's not just going to go there tomorrow. It's going to stair step its way down. Maybe it pushes back up to 4,000. Then it goes down to, 2,800. Then it goes back up to 3,800. Then it goes down to 2,500. But 1,850 is our target. Once we hit the 236, if we hit the 236, then we confirm that we have potentially topped out on this. Probably get another move back up to the upside. That's our A retracement, our B, and then our C. We come down to the 382, 200 exponential and simple, and our potential target of around $1,000. Okay? Bearish divergence. Bearish divergence. We're on the weekly. Red slope line is flipped over. Hard sell signal. We have left the bullish control zone. The 8 and 21 are crossing to the downside. We have broke down from an ascending key uptrend channel. But you're only saying that now that it already happened. No, I've been literally talking about all this, expecting it to happen, anticipating it to happen, planning and participating in these moves in advance. So, and if you don't believe me, just go back and watch the old videos, okay? Now everybody else is talking about the same thing. Well, maybe we are entering a bear market. Maybe there is diminishing returns. Maybe there is, you know, the lengthening cycles maybe not going to happen. Maybe we just go sideways for a year. Maybe we do go down a little bit. It's manipulation. It's the Fed. Don't listen to those people. Delete them. Unsubscribe. Stop following them. All they do is tell you what happened after it already happened. You can literally figure that out for yourself. The easiest way to figure out what already happened is just look at your portfolio. Say, oh, I'm down 20%. That's not good. Why didn't they warn me? Oh, because they can't tell shit. Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. This is exactly what we're talking about. We lose the support right here. We get the measure move to the downside. We break down back inside the range. This was our resistance. Should have acted as support. Failed to act as support. Now we broke down below. It's acting as resistance again. I fully expect the Bitcoin Ethereum ratio to go to 0.07. So again, when we were talking about, do we want to be in Ethereum or do we want to be in Bitcoin? What was I saying? I'm not saying sell all your crypto, but if I was going to hold Bitcoin or I was going to hold Ethereum, I would rather hold Bitcoin. And then what happened? Ethereum took a massive hit and Bitcoin sold off much less. Point taken. So total market cap on crypto. Again, bearish divergence on the entire crypto market cap. 821 have crossed the downside on the weekly. Hard sell signal coming out of the bullish control zone. All red histograms, red slope line. All these things have been telling us all this. The same thing, bearish divergence. Everything, it's all been just laid out. Been just waiting. All we had to do is just look. And we've been talking about all of it. So now let's look at this one. Bitcoin dominance chart. What have we been talking about on the Bitcoin dominance chart? Triple bullish divergence. Okay, we have a support here. We have a resistance here in red. 1, 2, third drive of bullish divergence. Found support exactly at that 40 level, as expected, as discussed, as planned, as anticipated. 1, 2, 3 drives of bullish divergence. Now I expect us to push back up to the top of the range. I expect Bitcoin to regain like that 45.5% level. Everybody else is saying, oh, the last time we saw Bitcoin dominance falling like this, it was about to capitulate. Alt markets starting. Alt markets here. To the moon. To the cum rockets. To the Doge coins. Quick, everybody. To the shit coins. No. The opposite. No. Bitcoin is about to gain value in comparison to the altcoins. Anyway, so let's jump into our altcoins and rip through these bad boys. So obviously we got that Chainlink play going on here. I mean, crushing it, obviously. I want to say there's still one more target to the upside on this too. Yeah, I still have a target on Chainlink up to $31. So I'm still fully expecting that to play out. We'll see about the weakness on the rest of the cryptos, but that was one I shared in the trade group. Took some profits already along the way. But overall looks good. Been in a bear market since our breakdown from support back here. And technically has confirmed back above 200 exponential and simple. Oh man, I forgot. I was on the 4 hour with this. Sorry. Let me switch back to the daily. So technically I have confirmed back above the 200 exponential and simple. But again, when we broke down right here, we lost that. We came into a descending like channel or wedge, whatever. Broke out, came back down, retested, got a perfect entry. Basically, nice little run up here. Already up like over, depending on when your entry was, what your targets were, etc. Already up between 20 and like 50%. Expecting another like potential 10 or 15% on top of this, which was just a retest of the 618, just a push up to that 618. So I do not expect Chainlink to all of a sudden go into some bull market. I do not think Chainlink will be, going to new highs anytime soon. But the 618 is that $31.19 target. So, and I will front run that. I will take profits ahead of time or let a running stop loss take me out of the trade. But we do have momentum in our favor. We're in the bullish control zone. We have the 821 cross the upside. We're on top of the 200 exponential and simple. Chainlink looks strong. One of the few to look strong. Polkadot looks terrible. Sitting at support, just barely hanging on for now. If we break down from this level, there's literally nothing left. This was, basically, I mean, I'm on the Coinbase chart, so there's probably further history, but there's nothing here. There's like 3 days worth of price action, and then it's down at $15. What is there here? There's nothing. A couple days of just marching up, but no clear basing out, no clear support, nothing to hold us up. So, if we break down from here, arguably, maybe we should be looking at fib levels. Maybe we should just be looking at horizontal support. Maybe they're going to line up perfectly either way, so it doesn't matter. Oh, look, just so happens. Let's get rid of this blue line now because we don't need it, because it's actually just the 0.5 It's exactly the 0.5. So we can see this is trading extremely technically. From the low to the high, it's trading perfectly. Even on the way up, before we knew where the high was going to be, we see right here a clear support at the 0.5. We see clear resistance here at the 236. Again, continue to the upside, top out. We see some temporary support here at the 236, break down and acts as resistance. We come straight down here to the 0.5. We bounce back up. We see clear resistance at the 382, and here we are back at the 0.5. So the next rational target to the upside is another retest of the 382. Seems less likely since we just did that. Seems more likely we would see a target move to the 618. So Polkadot looking like it's going to be a teenager again. So it's got that Benjamin Button's disease. It's reverse aging. Okay, it's going to go from, and what did we sell Polkadot at? Do you guys remember? Do y'all remember? $51 or something like that was our sell target on Polkadot. I believe it was $50.50 or something like that is when we sold Polkadot, and it's now at $24.50, and we expect it to go to $20. So I mean, when it's all said and done, who cares how long this goes in a bear market for? We can, for every one we sold, we can just buy 3, and then we just hold it forever. I mean, if we wanted to. Obviously, we're not going to do that, but building up momentum, bearish control zone, basing out at support. Maybe it has a move up here. It looks terrible to me. It looks terrible. And technically now, we have just populated the 200 exponential and simple, just because this Coinbase chart's so new. But we're below both of them, and the 200 exponential has already rolled over. So, just it looks bad. Looks bad. Got to really pick and choose with these shit coins right now. You can't just, throw shit at the wall and hope something sticks anymore like you can in the bull run. Uniswap. Looks bad. 200 exponential and simple have rolled over to the downside. Got a double top, failure to reclaim these levels. Building a little bit of momentum here, but it looks like it's going lower. So, if the $14 mark doesn't hold, this likely goes much lower. And there's no support on the way up. We have resistance that could be support at single digits. We're talking about single digits. This was a very key level the whole way here. This just looks like a gigantic descending triangle right now. This looks so bearish. It's like ridiculous at this point in time. So, we'll see what happens. We bounced to 886 perfectly. We can basically get rid of that. We know where to look for. But at this point in time, when I look at Uniswap, I just see this. I see a big, terrible, terrible chart. A giant descending triangle that breaks to the downside 66% of the time, and it typically waits till it fills out about 66 to 72% of the pattern. So it looks like we're getting close to a breakout or breakdown, and this has bias to the downside. And if we break down from here, we're talking about low price targets. So let's just go from this swing right here. I'm not going to go from like the crazy wick, whatever. That looks pretty realistic because that's our 236 is exactly where we came down to. 382. So we've already confirmed that we have topped out here. We already came down to the 382. So our next target to the downside is going to be the 0.5. So we're talking about a teenager, $9 Uniswap, okay? $9. So get ready. From 44. Crypto looks so bad right now. And people are still like, we're still in a bull market. I'm buying the dip. Now's the perfect time to learn how to leverage trade. Okay. Sure it is. Must be really, really hurting for people to use your links so that you can get a cut off of them losing their money if you're pitching Bybit links right now and telling people to use a VPN. You're going to go to jail for that too. I'm not telling you to use a VPN and trade illegally on Bybit, but if you wanted to, here's a link. What? Are you seriously retarded? Like the SEC? Doesn't notice you? When you have 250,000 or 500,000 people watching and following you, and you're like wink wink telling them to do illegal things, you don't think they're gonna show up? Okie dokie. This is gonna be the biggest wreck city ever. Think about all the people that have traded in and out of crypto on the way up during this bull market and had multiple taxable events take place. Because let's keep in mind, if you bought, let's say, XRP at 20 cents and then it went to $1 and you sold it at $1, you now have 5x your money So if you had $10,000 and then you went to $50,000, you have $40,000 worth of capital gains you need to pay taxes on. So assuming those are short-term capital gains, and assuming you're in, let's say, just for simplicity's sake, 33% tax bracket or whatever, or let's say 25%, just to keep it easy. You have 40,000 in capital gains that's taxed, and you have to pay 25% of that. You now owe the government $10,000 on that 40,000 in gains. But then in the meantime, you lost that money now and you don't have it anymore. The government, they don't just show up and say, hey, where's that money you owe us? And you're like, oh, I lost it. And they're like, well, you still owe taxes. And they're like, well, no, I lost them. I don't have that money anymore. And they're like, yeah, sure. You still owe taxes. So, I mean, you can offset your gains with losses for sure. But as things roll over into the new year, as people realize that just because you traded crypto for an NFT, bartering still in the United States is considered to be selling, and you have realized capital gains that need to be paid when you transfer that crypto into a stable coin, into another crypto, into an NFT, into dollars, into whatever. That's a taxable event. And I'm going to tell you right now, Coinbase gave up everybody's information. Kraken gave up everybody's information. Anybody else is going to give up anybody else's information. So be ready. Be ready. Same thing with stocks too, not just cryptos. People made a ton of money on the way up, didn't sell, like sold out of stuff or sold around and stuff, but didn't put aside money for capital gains. And then once the year rolls over, if you're not writing off those gains for the losses, or say you didn't realize those losses, okay? Say you bought into something and it went up, 5x, but you didn't sell it and then you just hodled it back down. So instead of having that like $50,000 asset that you can now sell for $50,000 and then pay your $10,000, now it's back down, to where you started, but you still owe that $10,000. So you're back to having your $10,000. You owe Uncle Sam $10,000, and that's assuming, a decent tax bracket. I mean, if you're in a higher tax bracket or you're paying short-term capital gains, they're going to want more money than that. So now you have to liquidate your entire position to pay your tax bill, and you're at a loss now. People just don't understand what's about to happen. XRP still looks terrible. Bear market below 200 exponential on simple. It looks like it's getting ready to cruise on down to 51 cents. So it looks like it's about to get a 33% haircut. It's trying to hang on here though, but still looks very bearish. Looks terrible. XRP wants to do something, but it just can't. So Matic basically broke down from the pattern, tried to reclaim it. Doesn't look good. Confirmed into a bear market now. This is what we were talking about. We've nailed this Matic trade over and over again. We were paying attention to the $2.13 level, but I didn't take it. I didn't like it. I didn't like how it looked. I didn't like the weakness over the weekend. I really wanted to see the bulls show up and try to do something over the weekend and let people know that they're still around. They're still pumping on the weekends. They're still doing work. They're not dead. They're not hibernating. They're not scared. They didn't tuck their tail between their legs and go, run off. But they didn't do anything. They didn't show up. This was their big attempt. This was it. That was their, hey, we're still alive. Doesn't look good. Does not look good. BAT, basic attention token, looks weak, bearish. I mean, now officially into a bear market, breaking down from that key support level. Looks like it's headed down to like 82 cents. Cardano, the weakest of the weak. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Broke down from the 236 now. Didn't even get any pushback up here. Cardano is by far the weakest. I mean, which is not a surprise if you ever see Charles Hoskinson. I mean, he radiates weakness. He's like literally the definition of like a beta male. Terrible. Looks absolutely terrible. So keep on. What did I say here? Keep on staking your Cardano for 10% while it loses 66% of its value. Keep on staking. I made 10%, but I lost 66. Oh, man. That makes perfect sense. Sushi topped out exactly like we said, just melting down since then. Looks like it's going to continue to melt down. Again, I still think our target to downside is going to be like $5.30. HTR, Hathor, looking like a double top here pretty clearly. Still much stronger than most cryptos. It is still above its 200 exponential on simple. Still has a positive slope, but looks weak. Looks like a double top here for sure. I mean, the key level to look at is just 200 simple. If it breaks down from $1, it's going to look real bad. Probably does base out here, at least temporarily. Another big thing I want to warn you guys about, and again, this is not financial advice, but we want to look out for liquidity events, okay? What happens when markets roll over? When we start entering into a potential bear market or flipping from bullish to bearish for like a secular or cyclical market, we look for liquidity events. What do I mean by that? Okay, if you have a large position and you need to exit that large position, but you're underwater, or maybe you're in profit, but you don't want to just sell it right now into weakness and just melt it down and give up a bunch of your gains or lose a bunch of extra money. What you do is you pump up the price, you pump it up, and then everybody else FOMOs into it, and then you sell into them buying. So you basically create a fake short squeeze to get the price to move up, and then you dump on everybody as they're buying into this momentum. And you know, in the crypto space, as soon as something starts moving, everybody starts running in to that thing. They're like, oh, this is it, Chainlink. Chainlink's going. It's got the Google CEO. It's breaking out of long-term downtrend. It's the Oracle. It's the future. Everybody go, 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 go. And then what happens? A massive, immediate just sell-off. And you're like, what happened? It just went like way, way lower. How did that happen? What was it? It's a liquidity event. It's literally what you do if you're a market maker or a giant whale to create buy pressure to offset the sell pressure you're about to dump on the market. Because if you just sell into resistance, you're just going to, or support, you're going to just chew through all that support, and you're going to cause, you know, basically a massive like liquidity, like squeeze, like capitulation. So instead, you pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, start to build up momentum. Everybody FOMOs in, Chainlink is breaking out new highs, and then you just dump on their face. And that's exactly what happened at Bitcoin with 69,000. Solana at support, at the 200 exponential and simple, at support back here. I mean, this is it. This is what Solana is holding on at the $123 mark. And then after that, remember, we were in Solana at $40. And that's where we're going if this breaks down. I mean, there's a stop off at like 80. I mean, this thing's going to move in $40 movements. 120 is support, then 80, then 40, then 0. Maybe negative. We'll see. Possibly negative. I mean, not really. I mean, Solana legitimately probably does do okay, but not anytime soon. It's way overvalued. Way, way overvalued. Did I do Avalanche or did I accidentally skip over that? Did we look at Avalanche? Yeah, I feel like we did. That's our support at 80 on Avalanche too. Same thing. It was a late cycle FOMO trade. 80, then 70, then 60. All right, so MicroStrategy hit our first target here, as expected, as predicted. The 382 has been officially tagged. So after that, we're looking at this 411 target. And then after that, we're looking at the 0.5, which is the measure move from the breakdown of our triangle. So what did I say? This thing's going to be in the 400s soon. And then it's going to be in the low 400s. Then it's going to be in the 300s. And then Michael Saylor is going to disappear. He's going to fake his own death. He's going to get run off with everybody's Bitcoin. He's going to lose the keys. Something's going to happen. There's going to be some crazy event that involves Michael Saylor. Okay. And keep in mind, old Mikey has been dollar cost averaging up. So 31K is an important level to watch because obviously this is garbage. This is straight up garbage. I mean, we're down, you know what? $900, 800 and some change dollars off the top. We're down over what? I mean, 66% from MicroStrategy's high. So let's be real careful here. Old Mikey Saylor, that short squeeze, or that, not short squeeze, that margin call. Hood looks still like crap. I mean, it's, you know, it's trying to base out here, but let's give it a couple days. I don't trust this 13-cent swing after. I mean, remember, this was a big one here. It went up to $85 and now it's at 16. It's not a bubble. Coinbase breaking down from key support. You know, it's got a couple of stair steps on the way, but I fully expect Coinbase at 210 very soon. So another 10% down, and then I'll probably buy the double bottom potential. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, but I think 206 or something like that was my target before, and we like slightly front ran it. We'll see. So Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, big surprise. You guys hear the news on Bed Bath & Beyond. They're closing 38 stores. Turns out they're a total piece of shit company, and they're useless, and they're garbage. Do you remember what I said about Bed Bath & Beyond's balance sheet? I went and looked at the fundamentals on Bed Bath & Beyond. They're the worst fundamentals I've ever seen in my life. The debt asset ratio is garbage. Their sales is garbage. Everything is garbage. This is terrible. The only good trade on Bed Bath & Beyond that has been made in the last year was the one that we made right here. And it's straight up garbage, and it's going much, much lower. Maybe it has another short squeeze. Who cares? It's total trash. It's total garbage. This is complete garbage. How do we know this was complete garbage other than fundamentals? Well, the fact that it literally put in a high back in 2013, 2014, and it hasn't been back there since. So all this positive action on Bed Bath & Beyond didn't even take out its previous all-time high. This is a straight up garbage company, out of business. Somebody else probably swoops in and buys them up in like the single digits. This can go to like $5, and then somebody else is going to buy them. And then they're going to shut down all the short stores, and they're going to use the name for like lotion or candles or whatever Bed Bath & Beyond has. Probably some kind of bed, bath, and also some Beyond works. AMC, total trash, garbage, useless, barely hanging on to support right now. Getting ready to go straight back down to single digits. Total garbage. Remember with AMC, there's no support down to $15. So if you loved it at 22, you're going to love it even more at 15, bro, because it's going to be so much cheaper. We're in deep value territory. Are we? Are we in deep value territory, or are we in low price territory? So I don't see any value. GameStop, everybody's getting all hyped up on GameStop. They're NFTs. We're going to use NFTs now. We're going to make our NFTs. We're going to... Garbage company. Straight up trash. Garbage. This move right here, this is exactly what I was talking about in crypto. This is literally the definition of a liquidity event. The people that want to get out, the whales, the insiders, whoever it is, says, oh, NFTs, bro, we're going to do NFTs. And it gaps up, then pumps, and then they literally just take a dump straight on everybody's face. So if you bought the gap up right here, you know, I mean, it literally, it gapped up from 130 and gapped up to 160. So anybody that bought into this after the market opened literally just got dumped on. So it's like, oh, it's up $30. Oh, it's gapping up. It's going to the moon. NFTs, bro. And they're already down 12% immediately on that. So now they're going to want to get out of their positions because they just got psyched out. They just got squeezed. They just FOMO'd in. It's going much, much lower. I mean, these things are straight trash. We're at the bottom of support right here. God. There's still channels dedicated to AMC and GameStop and stuff. There's still people who believe in these. Diamond hands, I'm hodling. One day when it hits $1,000, they'll regret it. They don't know what they're missing. Like, are you fucking serious, bro? Oh my God, I feel so sorry for these stupid fucking people. Man, I gotta start being nice. I'm sorry. I really do have to start being nice, because as people are getting like absolutely wrecked and stuff, like I'm not trying to like legitimately like hurt anybody's feelings or like push them over the edge or whatever. I understand. I mean, I saw this happen in 2000. You know, I mean, it's not like I haven't been warning everybody about it for months, but you know, I saw this all happen in 2000. I saw it happen again in 2008. I know people are really going to be feeling the pain. So, you know, I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh man, I just feel sorry for people. It sucks, dude. DraftKings looks terrible. I mean, DraftKings looks like it wants to go down to the teens, like $20, $19. It's trying to build out some support right here, but looks like it's probably going to get rejected and roll over. It might shoot up here, though. I do expect a reversion to the mean play on DraftKings. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's probably going to be a nice, juicy play. I told you guys I never actually entered this one, but I was considering it. If it reclaims this level, I think that it's almost viable to think we could get some kind of like 25 to like 50% move, but it's got to reclaim some support. And I'd rather just buy into momentum on this, on like a push up. I do not want to like just buy into this and just hope for the bottom. So